Alright, I just have to say that was a absolutely hilarious first episode. And of course I am talking about No Longer Allowed in Another World. I don't think I can remember any isekai with this sort of direction in recent memory or memory at all. I'm sure there have been some similar stories, at least in manga and light novels, but I cannot remember an anime adapting such a story for forever, if ever. Now, we will be discussing, analyzing, and reviewing, reacting to episode 1 here of the show, and you know what? As I said, I had a super fun time with this one. I think most of you also did, if you already watched it. I absolutely adore the hilarious and unique isekai premise that's at play here. Most of us, at least me, have seen countless isekai. I mean, I watch basically every single isekai every single season, which means every year I rack up a lot of isekai hours, alright? I might be an expert, a connoisseur even, you might say, but I cannot remember an isekai quite like this. Just the unique premise of our main character having his waifu, and they're walking in this black and white starting screen, and we find out that they're about to commit double suicide by throwing themselves into the river as some sort of tragic husband-wife suicide pact. But before they're even able to, Truck-kun randomly comes out of nowhere in this black-white noir setting and drives them both over, and assumingly puts them both in the isekai world. And that just leads to the rest of the absolutely hilarious premise here of our main character who just wants to die. Like, he just wants to off himself because that's his goal in life, and he's just very unhappy that he was saved and put in this other world. They've also done a really good job so far for me with the vibrant characters and just the clashing of the personalities of the introduced characters so far. I've had a really good time with, and I hope they do continue on that road because it was a very fun ride so far for sure. It is looking to be sort of a harem type isekai as well, but since it is so unique, I don't think I'll mind a nice, fun harem here at all. Definitely down for it, to say the least. Especially with waifus like this that feel so different than the average. I have to say though, one of the main things that really made this first episode great for me is definitely the humor, right? A lot of the meta humor and sort of joking, self-reference humor to isekai and humor in general really just made me chuckle, laugh, and smirk and have a really, really fun time where I just facepalmed multiple times to myself. Was like, god damn, they didn't just do that. Yes, they did. I mean, just starting off with the premise that this priestess, I guess, lives in this church and works there, and her job is literally welcoming isekai protagonists coming into this world, and she explains to us how jaded she is because every time an adventurer comes there, they're so pretentious or arrogant, or she just has the job of placating them and supporting them and complimenting them, and she's just dead inside. It's like, oh my god, you're so amazing, I didn't know you could do that, wow. It's like, goddamn, poor priestess. Has to be a horrible job. I also have to wonder how often people come to this world if it's a full-time job for this girl. But that, of course, all changes when our main character is reincarnated. And apparently, the reason for the reincarnation is really meta, I have to say. Like, Truck-kun is literally, quite literally, employed, I suppose, by this clergy organization, this church of some kind, to find and hunt down, I suppose, unhappy people in the real world and literally drive them over to send them to this isekai world. I don't think I've ever seen an isekai have the sort of priestess, sort of introductory character to this world, explaining like, wait, didn't you get hit by our transport service? Didn't you get hit by a truck-kun? Oh, you did? Oh, phew. Well, that's our world transfer service. It's like, what? What? It's what? Okay, dude. Okay. We're really going hard on this one here with the meta humor and the self-indulgence. And from the very get-go, as I said, when it comes to this world, it's just full-on him displaying his absolute character, or, well, lack of soul, whatever else you want to call it. I mean, him literally trying to OD on pills while she is giving him his introductory, welcome to the other world, hero. And she has to detoxify and save him. It's like everything about this first episode, I think they did really well. So many fun moments just absolutely had me laughing my ass off and having such a good time. Just his super gloomy, depressed, sort of dark, edgy aura just fits so well in this seeming vibrant, happy world. Even continuing with all the humorous moments after that when the priestess is like, oof, this guy is so depressed, why is he so gloomy? Why does he just want to die? Well, I'm sure he'll change his mind when he sees his OP stats, because, every isekai protagonist gets those. But then as she looks at his stats, it's like, oh, 1 HP, no skills, no spells, no nothing. Oh yeah, we might have made a mistake, sorry about that. Maybe you were hit by Truck-kun by accident. Well, sorry about that, you know? But then as he just walks away, apparently she gets the hots for him because, well, clearly he is unlike every other Isekai protagonist, I'll tell you that. And that leads to the Waifu Wars we will get into at the end of the video. But just the absolute shenanigans with the continual humor just made me have such a good time. Even when he gets introduced to the cat-eared or cat girl waifu, and she's just being hunted by this life-sucking tree, and of course it has tentacles. We get a slight tentacle scene here. Because of course we do, why not? And she's just yelling for help. Please save me, adventurer. And he's just trying to like lift up. It's like, oh, no, I can't reach you. Sorry, I guess you'll die. And even making like the offhand comment of, aren't dying women beautiful? It's like, god damn, this man is something else. But of course, in the end, he fails dying because the tree, as he's about to suck the life force out of him and the cat waifu, well, I guess his body is so full of toxins after he's been trying to OD the entire episode, and he just has cigarettes for some reason and keeps smoking them, that I guess the tree died of tobacco poisoning? Or his soul is just so gloomy and dark that trying to suck his life force literally poisoned the tree to death. It was like, okay, I mean, that's one way to do it. But then just him anguishing over like, I failed to die again. 5 times I've tried to off myself, but every time I fail. Maybe next time, maybe next time. And all the meta humor of him just telling off the world voice, like, stop, get out of my head, I have migraines. But then the level up music comes and it's like, oh, please. All of these things, like all of the humor, all of the fun scenes in this episode just really hit well with me, and I really like the direction the show is going so far. Though at the end of the episode, we do finally get this sort of realization by the main character who has been trying to die the entire episode that, oh right, my waifu, my real life waifu that I was going to do a double suicide pact with is probably in this world too. Sachan is her name. So now he has a purpose in life. I'll continue to live in this world until I find my real waifu, and then we can finally die together. For real this time. Like, well, that's definitely a unique goal, I'll give you that. But I guess you have something to live for now, until you die. But, good enough, I guess. Anyhow, though, if you're liking the video so far, do please remember to like and subscribe. Greatly helps out the channel, so thank you, thank you. Want to just try to really grow the channel before the end of the year. So, thank you for the support. Now, the last point here I want to touch on is definitely the Waifu Wars, because the Waifu Wars have been really fun this episode. I love the personality of the priestess. It's been just closed off and jaded because of all of these arrogant, like, douchey isekai protagonists that come there and get super powerful that she has to placate. But then when this dark, edgy, depressed, the suicidal MC comes along, she's like, I love him, he's so different. And how she inevitably comes on the journey with him after that fact. And of course, how the cat waifu, after he saved her life, is joining him on the journey as well. Like, these waifu wars, I think, will be extremely funny and satisfying because the personalities are so vibrant of the two of them already. I assume we'll get maybe another waifu or two along the way as well before we get to our Sachan waifu here, maybe eventually. And they really just animate and show the interactions in a really fun way that you really just have a good time with it. I mean, maybe some people might find it off-putting in some way, but I really think that it's been made in such a way that these waifu wars will be really, really entertaining and fun just because of the personalities being so unique and how they interact with each other so far in the story, and all the humor that can generate over the course of the season. Anyhow, though, what do you think of episode 1 of No Longer Allowed in Another World? Did you have a fun time with it? I definitely did. This is one of the best isekai I've seen in a while, just because it's such a sort of self-ironic and somewhat meta commentary on isekai, while still really having a super fun, just edgy story that I can really, really gel with and have a super, super fun, hilarious time with. Hopefully you can too. If you haven't watched it already, definitely give it a try. I think you'll definitely like it. The vast majority of you, especially if you're into isekai, this is a banger. Anyhow, though, that'll be it for this video. Hope you had a good time. Have a nice day. Keep watching anime, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.